when
Now I am.
so. Thank
Okay.
you.
So Jen, being you're up. Hi, show me an RDL
Hi,
thing now that I'm recording.
fantastic. All right, let me prop up my camera. You see it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, fuck.
Profanity is good.
Well, the light was shining in the camera. Is that better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Push the booty back
Booty back. You
and
don't
up.
have to go all the way down and press. Like I could feel it engaged right now without any weights.
Correct. Everybody should be able to do an RDL without weights in your hand and feel your glutes engage if you're doing it properly. So you push into the floor as you put your hips back. If Coach Jen was backed up against the wall, her butt would hit the wall as she goes back. Notice how her gaze is in front of her, guys. And if she was to look up, I got to admit somebody in here. So if she was to look up, like at the wall in front of her, and go down, you would see a broken spine. Okay. That will put
Yeah.
pressure on her back. But if she looks down at the floor in front of her, she now keeps her spine straight and keep going all the way down. Go down, all the way down, down, down. See how now her back is lowering, guys? Not necessary. The only thing that is necessary is for her to feel the stretch or for you to feel the stretch in your hamstrings and your glute. Once you do, you're done. That doesn't mean you
Yeah.
have to go all the way to the floor. Everybody is different. Great.
Hey, Jules,
Yeah.
question for you on that. So when you're coming up, whether it's, I guess, really any squat or RDL or split RDL or whatever it is, when you're coming up and you get to the very top, what is the rule on uh, uh, like a hip thrust, glute grip squeeze? What's
Got it.
that rule?
You are talking about, I can't see myself because I have speaker on. Let me put myself back into the view. Um, Jen, can you help me out?
Yeah.
Great, thanks. Because I have it on speaker view so everybody can see. Okay, so when you go down, and I think what she's talking, yeah, do that. Thank you. So what she's talking about is the hip tuck on the way up, squeezing your butt. So can you demo that for me? Yeah,
Like that. Yeah.
correct. You're not even doing it as good. So I think you're talking about, Trisha, when you go all the way down and you squeeze
Yes.
your, okay.
Ugh.
So here's
Ugh.
the thing. Guess what, Mama? You get to stand up and do this with me. Are you in a skirt?
I got some shorts underneath it. We're
Okay.
good.
Great.
Okay.
All right. So I want you to try this. And everybody else, guys, don't be afraid to get up and try this as I'm demoing it or as I'm talking you through. So I want you to turn sideways, Trish. Look at you looking
Yeah.
potty, losing weight and
Yeah.
everything.
Okay, wait. I got some
Uh,
shorts on there. Okay.
okay. So I
Can you see
want you
that?
to, I want you, yep, I can see you perfect. I want you to
Yeah.
do an RDL and then do the
Hmm.
hip tuck for me. Okay.
Okay. All right. So
So
I'm going
push the butt
down.
back. Yep, push the butt back, hip back, then come up and tuck it. Okay. Now I want you to go down and not tuck it this time. Now I want you to think as you go down, push your feet into the floor as you push your hip back. Now push
Hmm.
to the floor to get yourself up. Push your feet into the floor to get
Into
yourself
the floor.
up.
And
Yep, like your
let me take
leg
my shoes
pressing.
off.
There you
Okay.
go.
Normally I do it without shoes on too.
Perfect. So I want you to think of leg pressing the floor up. And now stop there.
Yeah.
Did you feel more
Okay.
engagement?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right? So
Right.
what's happening, guys, when you tuck the hip underneath you, you're actually disengaging the hip or the glute. So the glute is activated by your feet pressing into the ground. So if everybody stands up right now, it'd be behoove you. If you stand up right now, and hold on, I'm gonna do something here. All right. You might be able to see me. I'm on a second camera. Um, but I'm not. I don't have my voice on. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to do this without. Okay. That didn't work. All right, I swore. All right, so everybody, I don't know if you can see me. All I can do is see people in the cameras right now. I'm going to change the view back. So stand up. And what I want you to do is plug your feet into the ground. So everybody stand up. We're just going to do the RDL right now because it's the hardest one to do. So if everybody stands up, stand up if you have the ability to. This is informative. So if you stand up and you pick your toes up off the ground, I want you to just close your eyes and have that feeling. Then I want you to put your toes back down. And when you put your toes back down, I want you to press into the floor. Everybody knows how to leg press, right? Everybody's done a leg press before. Raise your hand if you've done a leg press. So you're going to feel like you're leg pressing the floor away from you. I want you to plug your feet into the floor. Your big toe, your baby toe, and your heel. Plug them in like they're a light socket. Plug. Now, push into the floor. That push, just standing, should have engaged your hamstring and your glute. Now, if you're standing and you're actually doing this with me, and you start to hip hinge back, like you saw Cindy and Coach Jen do, and that is just this movement, and RDL is not a lower your back, it is a push your hips back. So the only way the weight, your hands, or anything can get down to the floor is for you to keep your feet plugged in and to hinge at the hip. And that's all I'm doing is I'm hinging at my hip. I'm hinging at my hip. I'm hinging at my hip. I could stop right here. Now, to come up, guys, all you have to do is push your feet into the ground. All I'm doing right now is pushing, leg pressing the floor away from me. That is how I'm coming up. I'm not even thinking about straightening or pulling my hips underneath me. Now that is the movement. The movement is to pull the hips back up underneath you and to hinge back and forth. It's a hinge motion. But when I'm here, the only thing I'm doing currently right now to get myself upright again is I'm pushing my feet into the floor. And that moment, that movement alone has me feeling my glutes. Who felt that? Big difference?
Good.
Awesome. All right. Everybody should be doing RDLs like pros. The other thing that Cindy brought up, which is very, very good information, guys, is the weight shouldn't really be out in front of you. You should try to keep the weight on your shins, okay? So like she and Jen had her hands there as well. So did I. Think of dragging the dumbbells or the barbell or the Smith machine or whatever up and down your shins, okay? Like you should need knee pads. If a barbell is hard. Now, technically, starting out with a barbell can be hard because the weight wants to pull you forward. You can grab dumbbells. Dumbbells are easier to keep right here at your side. I did a reel on this. It's easier to keep the dumbbells right on the side of your leg than having the barbell float out in front of you. All right, give me another one. Form check. Who's got another struggle? Sandy. Kay. Talk to me.
Okay, let me stop talking. Okay, another exercise that I struggle with. Let me think about it. RDL is a big one for me. There was something. Oh, I never positioning right for the like the cable kickbacks. I always feel like I'm just kind of out and swinging versus like actually feeling.
So
Where
a
I'm supposed to
regular cable
feel it.
kickback or an upper glute cable kickback?
The glute one.
Hmm?
Upper glute one.
Upper glute. Okay.
Yep.
So cable kickbacks, guys. I need somebody to demo for me again. I'm gonna have you help me, Jen. So cable kickback, when you're going to do an upper glute, guys, I'm gonna have Jen help me because you'll be able to see her fully in a second. So when you're looking, when you have like an upper glute one on your workout and you have the ankle weight on, to work the upper glute, you actually will stay a little bit closer to the machine and there's an angle in your foot. So your foot is at a 45-degree angle. So if everybody is standing up right now, and you should be holding on when you do a cable kickback. Okay, you need the balance, so you should be holding on to the rack for the balance when you lean in to do more of the upper glute. Now a cable kickback is going to work your entire glute, but if you angle your foot and you kick back at more of an angle, it's going to hit that upper glute. It's going to hit more of your glute maximus if you bring your knee up and you push straight back. Okay, so coming up like this, leaning over flat and pushing straight back is going to work the glute and the hamstring. Now, the one way that you don't want to do this is what I see girls do in the gym. I see this whole momentum shit going. That's momentum. If you want to do it right, you lean over, you stay very stable in your upper body. Your leg comes forward. This is the entire glute. You push back, keeping your upper body stable. And if I wasn't looking at you, my whole upper body would almost look like I'm in an RDL stance, and I'm going to push straight back. Now, if I want to use my upper glute, I'm going to just come in a little bit closer to the machine. There's two ways of doing it. I actually like to do it this way. I'll step over the cable. So my working foot, I will just come and I'll step over the cable and then I'll kick back with the opposite leg. That helps me. You don't have to do that. You can also stand up straight and you just move your foot at a 45-degree angle. So my foot is now at a 45-degree angle. I stay up tall and it's a short range of motion. But when I do this, it's my upper glute moving. All right, I'm going to put speaker on and I'm going to have Jen come to the forefront, hopefully, if she's still listening to me. Or Sandy. No, Sandy's
I'm here.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Oops. Can you see,
All right,
can you
yeah.
see me?
So you're just do a
If I'm
right.
doing.
Yep. So like, see her foot, move a little away from the camera a little. There you go. So
You
she's
see me
going to
now?
be up close to the machine, almost so she can hold it, really almost hug it. So if she had a bar in front of her, she'd be close enough that she could hug it.
Yeah.
And then she's going to just see how her foot is angled out. It's a short range of motion. Where do you feel it, Jen?
Right here. My
Yep.
upper glute. Yep.
Yep, you want to feel that right in your upper glute. So guys, if you have the ability to stand, you can try this, but by angling that foot out, you're able to feel it more in the upper glute. So it's almost like a kickback, but in a side. Now, if you're trying to do, if I have on your program, Coach Jen or any of the coaches have a regular cable kickback on, then you're a little bit more bent over. The knee will pull all the way through and you'll kick solidly back. So bring the knee all the way through and then kick straight back. Now that is a regular kickback. Pushing through. I like to let my leg come all the way up. Like I let the cable pull me and I keep my knee bent. So Jen, I keep my knee even bent more. And I'll let the cable just pull me all the way up until I feel a really good stretch in my glute. And then I bend down and I push it all the way back and get a good extension. And then I let that cable slowly drag me up. Yep, like that. And then I push back. Now the key is right here. If she had, see her glute contract there? Now the key is if she had an ankle strap on and she was attached to a cable, it's very easy to let the cable go and pull you right back. But watch how you have to control it. Control the weight, let the weight come all the way up. She's going to feel a stretch underneath her glute, and then she pushes back, squeezes, controls it on the way up. So if you feel like you're flailing around, Sandy, usually there's a couple of reasons why. It could be one, you have too light a weight, or two, you're just literally using momentum. I know you're in the middle of a grocery store, so it's very hard to demo, but did that help you?
Yes, very much. And I don't think I'm standing close enough.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm standing too far back because my legs just don't feel like they're in the right position. So I think that it is now hearing that I can be closer and hang on I think will help.
Yep. So depend.
You know what?
Hmm?
You know what also helps too is I record myself and then I'll play, like I'll record a couple reps and then I'll play it back just to see how my form is, because sometimes just seeing yourself, you can make those small little adjustments too.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
So not only do you want to send in form check videos to your coach, but like I've also looked at the video myself and looked at myself and say, oh, I need to change my foot placement, or, oh, I need to bring that up a little bit more or something like that. So that's how you can make corrections just by looking at yourself too.
Great. Thank you so much.
And guys, that is a really good rule of thumb. So not only should you be recording, and just so you're clear, Coach Jen still sends videos to me. So if Sandy, being a client of mine, Sandy, and anybody else here, does a video of herself to check her form, it shows up in my inbox. She still has me check her form to this day. So you guys should be doing that for that very reason. I video myself so I can see what I'm doing and make corrections. But also, each and every one of you has a coach here, and you have the ability to send form check videos to us on Friday. And I can tell you, I don't get nearly enough of them from you all. Not nearly enough. It's like y'all think you have great form here, but yet you got sore backs and sore shoulders and all of the other things. You got to use it to your advantage, guys. Those of you that have sent form check videos in, does it work? Yeah. All right. Good question, Sandy. I love that. Who struggles with a Bulgarian split squat? Anybody? Raise your hand. I gotta come to a different view. Oh, everybody, Bulgarian split squat. We love to hate that sucker, don't we? It's the best thing out there. So what do we struggle with? Because there's so many different things. So you're going to have to come off of mute and tell me, like, what is the Bulgarian? Is it getting into it? Is it feeling it? I'm not looking for that you hate it, but I want to know, because I know everybody hates it, including myself, but man, that baby's good. So what are the struggles with the Bulgarian? Tracy, I saw you raise your hand.
Yeah, I want to say everything. So I've seen videos and I've seen stuff where people say, how they put their leg out to place their foot, and then how to prop their foot up on the bench and stuff like that. So I've tried doing that, but I don't know, maybe the going down, I feel like maybe I'm not going far enough. I just felt funky. I don't know how to describe it. I just felt like I was a klutz, like I couldn't stand up. I couldn't go down far enough. I don't know. The whole thing just felt like I just felt off. I mean,
they're hard.
I made myself do it, but I just wasn't sure if I was doing it right. So, I kept watching the little video that's in the exercise and then like going to Google and YouTube and stuff and watching everybody in the world do it. So I don't know. I just felt off through the whole thing, really.
All right, let's see if we can correct that. It's hard for me to do everything. So there's a couple of things I want to hit, guys. So first of all, I don't know who this is. Don't watch the videos we give you, okay? Specifically, if you are working with me as a coach or you have, you're in a program that I put together, Generally, guys, I do not use videos or send you videos of exercises, even if I do not agree with them, okay? They're either going to be a video of me coaching a client, or something that I have looked up myself, and then 90% of the time, I rewrite the directions for you. So watch the directions as well, or go read through them. Sometimes I even give Coach Jules tips. I don't know if you've noticed that before, but I break it down the way that I want you to. And I've been getting better at rewriting them now that I've had, well, I don't really have any more time, but as I see them, I rewrite them. Okay. That's number one. Don't Google them, because I can Google Bulgarian split squats and it might take me 15 minutes before I actually put one and attach it that I agree with. Okay. So if you're out there Googling them, you could be listening to Sally Sue, who really has zero clue of what she's doing, and you just screwed yourself. So one, look at the videos that you're given. If you do not understand, reach out to your coach. And when you reach out to your coach, what are you going to send them when you reach out? Tracy.
I'm gonna take a video next time.
Yes, you're gonna
because I just got it. I just got it yesterday for the first time. So I kind of just fumbled my way through it the best that I knew how. So I thought when it comes up again, I'm gonna make sure I do video it and send to her.
Absolutely, that's awesome. And I'm not picking on you, Mama. I'm not picking on you. But guys, I want guys to do that. So that's number one. Number two, not everybody can do a Bulgarian. They are hard to do in the beginning. So I usually will attach an alternative that has a PCP pole, an example of it. So do not be ashamed to drop the weight and pick up a PCP pole or a broomstick or whatever. So, of course, I do not have a broomstick. But I happen to have a tripod. So you take a PCP pole, or if you happen to have a broomstick at home, or like me, that's not going to work. I just destroyed it. It's not tall enough. That one would work, but it's holding a camera. Hello. Learn to be inventive, guys. All right. Nothing like a ring light. So if you had a PCP pole, or this is going to be way too high, but yes. So I'm about to get into, like, I would never have a bench this high, but maybe Coach Jen will help me out again. But yes, you're going to sit down. You put your working foot out in front of you. So I stuck my working foot straight out. That was dumb. It's the wrong leg for me to be using. But stick it all the way out in front of you. Stand up. Grab your PCP pole, your broomstick, whatever the hell you got. Put it right alongside of your working leg. Pop your second leg up on top. So I sat my ass down. I put my leg out. I knocked down my ring light. I put my leg out. I stand up. I hold my ring light. This is going to give me balance. I put my foot out, laces down, and down I go. Use a pole to balance. So, gyms have PCP poles. You have a broomstick, a ring light. Be inventive. So start there and learn to get the motion down, okay, Tracy? Like, start there. There is no shame in your game to grab a PCP pole, or if you're at home, a broomstick. Lower yourself down. Now, it's the same thing as I directed in the RDL. You want to have your foot flat on the ground, and when you come up, so when you come up from this position, I have my laces down, I come down. Man, this is hard on a high chin. And when I want to come up, I push my working leg, my entire foot, and I leg press the floor away from me to come up. So when I come down, I can't go down for it because my bench is too high. But when I want to come up, I push the floor away from me, and that's what raises me up. Now, if my foot is closer to the bench and I have a 45-degree angle, I'm going to work more of my quad. If my foot comes out and my leg is now at a 90-degree angle, I'm going to work more of my glute and my hamstring. Quad, glute and hamstring. The other thing that'll help you work the glute and hamstring is the foot out at 90 degrees, which is exactly what will happen if you put your foot out. If you use the placement that I showed you, you can also hip hinge forward and come down. Push the floor away from you, like I can feel my glute already. If you want to work more of the quad, the foot comes in closer to the bench, 45 degrees. The chest stays up like you had a string on it, and you come straight down and push up.
So, Jules, is my supporting knee hurting because I've got too much of the angles wrong?
It could be.
Okay.
Your working leg is hurting?
The knee.
The knee?
So it must be because maybe I'm going, instead of straight down, maybe I'm going at a,
You'd be working more of your quad and your knee would go over your toe, but that shouldn't really hurt your knee. It
okay.
could just be lightening up with your weight. Show me.
Okay. Okay.
Show me.
I'm in my scrubs, but okay. Let me see. Okay. This might be good for a bench. Oh dear. Bench.
Yeah.
I said bench. Okay, we're back. Okay, so then,
Can you turn sideways so I can see you at an angle? And then maybe, sorry. Oh, look at that pretty dog. Perfect.
let me see, maybe this way.
Yeah, I just want to see you sideways, not straight on.
Is this okay?
Yep, like that. Yep.
Okay. So then I always get pain on the right. But then I'm gonna get some lateral knee.
So right
Okay.
now you're actually working more of your quad. So if you were to watch this back, your leg is angled in. So try moving your foot out. Sit down on that bench for a second. Put your legs, your working leg straight out in front of you, like kick it out. Now stand up on that leg. Yep. Now put your laces down on the bench or the chair. Now go straight down once you're there. Oops. Better.
That
Better. Yep.
it feels better.
Yeah, your leg is in a much better position now. So try to use that. You could even have your leg out a little bit further. Meaning if you try putting your laces back further on the bench. There you go. Now go straight down. Keep your, yeah.
Okay, that feels like less pressure on my knee. I think it's the, yeah,
Try the setup like that, okay?
yeah, that's exactly
your
what it
foot,
does.
you still had a slight angle. You could actually even kick your foot further away from the bench if you wanted to. You might have to hop out a little to get it further away, but you could actually get even further away. So like if you watch this replay, you'll see where your leg is. Your leg was still slightly here, and it's going to move. If you move it straight up and down, so you could even get further away, and it would help.
Okay, okay. I think, yeah, I'll video it, and I think that's a great idea, Jen. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, another thing that you guys can do, and if you have more questions about it, I'm happy to do that, is you can also do what's called a, and I can have Jen show you the RDLs as well, or the Bulgarians, but you can also start out with a B stance, guys, too. So you just got to let us know if you're struggling, and don't come in and say you're struggling with the Bulgarian just because you don't want to do it, okay? But if you're truly struggling with it, there's the, if you can't do this, do this. So to lead up into a Bulgarian, you can do what's called a B stance RDL. That is where you kickstand your foot. So let me get myself into the view here, sort of. So nope, not going to see me. Coach Jen, you're up.
I'm here.
All right. So B stance. So B stance is she's going to kickstand her foot. So she's going to put her back foot as a kick stance and she's going to do an RDL. So basically her foot is going to behave as a kickstand and she's going to do an RDL just like she did before. She's going to hinge at the hip and come down as if she was doing an RDL. And then she's just going to push her foot away from the floor. Her working foot is the one that's furthest away from you. And her left foot is really just a kickstand. It's not doing anything, but just hanging out there. And that gives her a little bit of balance and security. Once she gets really good at that, she can stick that foot up on her bench. And now, watch, Barb. I can tell she's in a pretty good position. See how her leg stays straight, guys, and how far away it is from the bench? It's at 90 degrees, and she's angled like this. Now she's going to be working her glute. Now when she comes up, she's pushing the floor away from her, and she keeps that slight angle. And as we talked about before, she's not tucking her hips underneath her. And I guarantee you, without a weight right now, her ass hurts.
Hell yeah.
So that's it. Now, if she brings her foot closer to the bench, and then she straightens up her body. So she lifts up her chest and she goes down. You're going to watch the angle. See how the angle of her foot, her lower leg just changed? Now, this is still an RDL, but she's now working the quad. The other way you can tell is see how close she is to the bench. Her butt is almost going up and down. Her knee, like her non-working knee, see how it bends? It almost collapses. And then her front leg is at 45-degree angle closer to the bench. That's going to work more quad. She's still pushing with her entire foot. So
Yep.
again, if she wants to work the glute, she's going to bring the foot out. She'll show you with her. Yeah, that's good. So she's going to put her leg out, stand up. She'll tilt forward a little bit, hinge forward at the hips. And when she goes down, her leg is at, she could even have it further out a little bit even. Yeah. See how straight her leg is? 90 degrees. And then you can see the angle, like her back leg almost has a 45-degree angle. If she wants to work her quad, she comes back closer to the chair. She keeps her chest up. She goes straight down, and now there's that deep angle in her leg, and now she's going to work more of her quad. So that's the difference between the two of them. But guys, remember, she'll show you a kickstand. If this is hard, start out with a kickstand, and then just let your coach know that, hey, man, I need to work up to this. And so she's doing a plain RDL, but her back leg is behaving as a kickstand. Yep, see her tapping her foot? It's just a kickstand. If this is too hard, you can do a reverse lunge. So a reverse lunge, she had no idea she was getting a workout, is just like that. And drive your knee all the way up. All the way up. Yep, drive your knee up, come back and down. That is step one. Do this. Once you can do this, do this. I think her camera just, oh, there you go. Now she's looking at
Yeah, can you see? There you go. All right.
Once
Can you see me still?
Yep, I can see it. Once you can do this, do this.
Then
And once you can do that, do
Do
this.
this.
And then and you can add weight to any of these guys. Add weight to any of them.
But start with no weight.
Yes.
Get the form down first, because you can, obviously, I'm like panting right now. You can still get a workout without any weight. That's what you want to feel. You want to feel what muscle you are activating.
Correct. So
And
start
press with the
without
floor.
weight, learn the muscle, and then add the weight. But you could add weight to any of these. Now, the reason why I would say if you can't do this, do this, and if you can't do this, do this, is because it's about you learning the form, okay? And executing everything well. So if you get into the Bulgarian, Tracy, and it's really like, or anybody, but I'm going to say you, Tracy, because you raised your hand on like it was hard, and it's really a struggle, video yourself. We might be able to fix your form, put a PCP pole in your hand, and get you to work on it. However, your coach might go, yeah, you know what? Let's do this instead. Let's have you do a B stance RDL, or let's have you do a reverse RDL. But we wouldn't know until we see your form. But any of you guys that get a Bulgarian, don't listen to this. And if you're watching the recording and go, I can't do it, forget it, I'm just going to go to a reverse lunge. That's not the idea here. None of us like Bulgarians. But if you feel uncomfortable with it, video yourself, let your coach see your form, and then we'll guide you from there on whether we feel like you need to do, take it back a notch. But I don't want anybody here to feel like less than if you have to go to the reverse. Like, all of these things are going to build your dexterity. They're going to build your stability, your balance, your core, all of that. That's what those are for. They're not just to make it easier. They're to help build you into the Bulgarian. So, because the Bulgarian, guys, takes a lot of freaking core strength on top of everything else. Great. All right, I'm going to go back to galley view. All right, anybody else have questions on the Bulgarian split squat, or did that help? Okay, go ahead, Valerie.
The back foot that's up on the bench,
Mhm.
I've been flexing my foot and tucking the toes under instead of laying laces down. Is there a difference there, or should I be doing it laces down?
I prefer laces down. My foot cramps when I do it with my toes.
Okay.
So-
Well, I mean, it's definitely your stabilizers work really hard because I was, all over the place at first, but okay.
Try it, laces down, Valerie. See if you like it. I prefer laces down. I don't like my toe up on it. I feel like laces down works a little bit better for me. I've always done it that way. My toes tend to cramp when I do the toes thing. And it tends to, as you just said, make me a little bit more
Throws you off.
cocky. Yeah, it throws off my
Yeah.
balance. So give it a shot. Try the laces down.
Okay.
See if
I
you
didn't
like
know it was an option, so
it.
I'm glad.
Totally is.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
good question.
Thank you.
Who else loves the Bulgarian? Single-handedly the best exercise out there to work your ass. All right. Who else has a challenge with another exercise? What else hurts your back, your shoulders? Think about it. Like, what's a challenging exercise you have? Squats, bent over rows. I know you have them. You're going to get off this call and you're going to be like, oh, 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 oh. Jen, what do you see problems with your clients? Who struggles with what?
Uh, so shoulders, I have a lot of clients that have shoulder issues. So that is one. I'm not really sure on, on the back ones or anything like that, like barbell back squats or something, because I have a lot that do home gym, so like more dumbbells than like a barbell. But the barbell, I know that one is a tough one too, because you want to engage, your lats before you lift up, and you don't want to lift with your back. So,
With the squat, yes.
yeah.
All right, let's talk about the shoulder though. I like that you brought that out. How many of you guys get shoulder pain? Nobody has shoulder pain in here? Okay, awesome. So if you don't have shoulder pain, great, I love that. So who wants to show me how to do a push-up? You can sit right here and show me how to do a push-up. Show me how to do a push-up. If you don't raise your hand, I'm gonna call on you. I want to see a push-up. Valerie, show me how you do a push-up. Where's your hand placement? I need to be able to see your entire body.
Sorry. Hands are right under my shoulders. Fingers are wide on the floor.
And let me see, where are your elbows?
My elbows are bending in
Okay, show me from the back.
instead of going out.
Ah, so you're making an arrow and not a T.
You're right. Like a little more like if I'm here, I'm bending in.
Correct. Perfect. So, guys, thank you, Valerie. So, guys, when you're doing a push-up, a bench press, or anything, your elbows should be tucked in as an arrow. So, if you've seen a video that I've done, I call that out. You want your elbows, so you don't need them. If they come all the way in here, you're working your tricep. If you're out here and you look like a bird or a T, you're putting stress on your shoulder, okay? A lot of stress on your shoulder, and you're gonna have a lot of pain. And let me tell you, I see more push-ups done like this than I see done correctly. I see more bench presses done like this than I see done correctly. So I'll challenge you guys all to check your form when you're doing a push-up or a dumbbell bench press or a barbell bench press. So if you're doing a barbell bench press, and you can envision the same thing if you're doing a dumbbell, when you come back, first of all, the setup should be that your eyes are underneath the bar. First of all, that's where you should be. Your pinkies should wrap around. I like to put my pinkies on the little line on the bar. So you're at a decent width and you're not crooked. Your hands are in the same spot. And then when you load it off, you load it over your chest, not your shoulders, your chest, right across your boobs. And then what you want to think about doing is breaking the bar. If you think about breaking the bar, you will automatically lock in, okay? Not only will you automatically bring your elbows in, you will lock in your traps. You will lock in your shoulders. Your shoulder blade will automatically slide down your chest and lay flat on the bench. I do the same thing when I have dumbbells. When I lay back, I kick myself back and I come up on the bench. I lock myself out. And I think with the dumbbells, break the bar. Even though I have 2 dumbbells in my hand, I think break the bar. Everybody do that. Hands out. Unless you're driving, please do not. But if you're not driving, hands out. Lock your elbows out so the bones are locked. Then I want you to think of if you're gonna bench press, break the bar. Does everybody feel break the bar? What just happened to your shoulder blades when you broke the bar? They slid down your back. Yes, I saw pointing down. And when they slide down, they're going to slide down and they're going to lock into the bench. You would do the same thing if you're on a machine and you're going to do a machine press. You lock into that machine, grab your hands into the machine. Even if you're sitting up straight and doing a machine chest press, you break the bar. And then automatically you're going to lock in. You have now just protected your shoulders. And then you brought your elbows into a T shape. So this is a push-up as well. And then you push the weight away from you. Now, if you are all doing this with me right now and you lock in and you push, you're going to feel right here engage, not your shoulders. So if you lock in and you now push. You should all feel it right here in your pecs. Who felt it in their pecs? Yeah. If you feel it in your shoulders, guys, and you're doing a chest workout, one of two things is happening. Video yourself, because you're either got your elbows out to a side like a chicken or a T. And if I do this, if you do this right now and you push like this, you're going to feel this all in your shoulders. All in your, I feel it in my shoulders. It freaking hurts. All right. And that's where you're going to get shoulder injuries. So making sure when you chest press, you push up. I don't care if you're pushing up on your knees, if you're doing a push up on a wall, if you're doing a push up on your toes, if you're doing a dumbbell press, an incline press, a machine press, always keep your arms at an angle. The next thing is the dumbbells or the barbell or whatever it is, Valerie, in a push up, your hands should come alongside of your chest, not your shoulders. Okay, so Valerie said her hands come up here in a push-up. Nope, your hands should be here in a push-up. All right, your hands should be here in a chest press. So when you come down, it's right alongside of your press. I always keep my hands at a 45-degree angle. I don't keep them straight. That will help with shoulder pain. Another common issue that comes from shoulder pain is when you do a shoulder press and you are pressing back here. When you do a shoulder press, you should bring the weights in here and they should hover just in front of your shoulder, not here, here. And there's no necessity when you do a shoulder press for the weights to come any lower than your elbow breaking parallel. They don't have to come all the way down here, contrary to other belief. You just have to come down, break parallel with your arms, and press up. The key to a good shoulder press is not to break parallel and come way down here. It's to break parallel slightly, and when you press up, not to lock out. If you lock out at the top, guys, it's bone on bone. You can hold a weight up here all day long. You can hold 50 pounds up here because it's not muscle holding anything. It's bone on bone. You've locked out the arm. The arm is bone. Your bone is holding it up, okay? Not a bad thing if you lose your breath, okay? I will lock out sometimes in a chest press. I will lock out in a shoulder press if the weight gets heavy. So if I'm doing extreme weight, I got two 50-pound dumbbells and I'm doing a chest press and I'm like, fuck me, I think I'm gonna die and I don't have a spotter around here, I will lock out, I will lock my arm. And I will take a deep breath in, catch myself before I lower it back down again. Because when I lock out, I'm holding that weight with my bone. It's bone on bone. I've just locked out the arm. Same in a shoulder press. If I am in a shoulder press and I'm trying to go up and weight and I push and I'm like, oh, I will lock out, take a deep breath, then I'll lower it back down again. Because then my muscle is taking over. Make sense? But keep the weights here in front of your shoulder, not back here. That's where shoulder pains come from. And warm your shoulders up, for God's sakes, guys, before you start shoulders. All right, warm your shoulders up. 90% of the time, I'll put a shoulder warm up for you. I know some of you move it to the back of your, even though I have lightweight, use as a warm up. I'll notice some of you guys do it at the end of your workout. No bueno. I've got a shoulder rotation in your workout. I have that there to warm up your rotator cuff, to get some lubrication in there. And I don't give a shit if you do it at any point in time. Warming up that shoulder is a good idea. Who else has got something? That was a good one.
This is like kind of a weird question, but you know, when you're doing any given exercise and say you're doing a curl, right? And you have the weights in your arms, you know, say you start from the bottom and you come up. You know how you can come up to a point and you know that your muscle's still engaged, but if you come up a little bit further, your muscle kind of disengages. Is it best to come up to like where the muscle is still engaged, stop there, and then go down and keep the muscle engaged? Like, should the muscle be engaged the whole time with every rep?
Muscles
Do
should
you know what I
always
mean?
be engaged all the time,
All
time
the time.
attention. However, I will say in a bicep curl, so if you turn sideways and do a bicep curl, it's
Hmm.
engaged all the way up. It does not disengage.
Like, yeah, I guess maybe that was a bad example, right?
But
But you know what I mean,
yep,
right?
yep, you always want to keep the time under tension. So that's what we were talking about with the hip tuck. Like
Hmm.
when you tuck the hip up underneath you, you
Hmm.
have now yeah,
Disengage.
you
Right.
disengage the muscle. So it's the same thing. It's a really good question. You always want to keep time under tension with that muscle. That's why, like when you do an exercise, like when you were talking about the dumbbell curl or the bicep curl, you don't ever want to let a weight drop. Because if you let a weight drop, the weight is now controlling you and you're not controlling the weight.
Right.
You actually get more work done on the eccentric motion, the negative.
Mm.
So when you do a bicep curl or any type of movement, that's why when we were, I had Coach Jen demoing the kickback, I said, don't let the cable slam you forward. You don't want to let the weight drop. You don't want to let the weight drop ever. You always want to control it. So in a bicep curl, you control the weight on the way down. You get a good stretch. You always want to get a good stretch in the muscle, and then you curl it back up. Now in a bicep curl, you can actually peak it. That's one where it's really hard to disengage it. You can peak it right here. You can see my bicep peak, and I can squeeze and peak it, and then I'll
Hmm.
control it down. Now, I'm glad you brought up a bicep curl because a common thing that I see in a bicep curl is people will do this. Okay.
Mm.
Now that is your shoulder doing a curl, not your bicep. A bicep curl, I think about it because I just did them today. You want to keep your arm here and you lower the weight. You get a good stretch in that bicep and you curl it up. My arm never leaves my side. Very
Hmm.
rarely does it come forward.
But
And
and even in the bottom, like when you get to the bottom and you have your stretch, like your muscles still engaged, right?
yeah, you still engage. So that's a good question because I actually was thinking about it today when I was doing them. I have a long arm and my hips will get in the way. I literally, to get a stretch in my bicep curl, and I was doing it today, I was doing barbell curls. In order for me to do it, I literally have to push my hips back in order for me to get a good stretch. So when I do a true barbell curl, I literally have my hips pushed back. Because if I stand
Hmm.
here, the bar hits my leg and I don't get a good stretch. So I will just
Mm.
my hips back. Doesn't happen to me with dumbbells, but with a barbell. And then I let it drop and then I pull it back up, but I control it all the way down. Every once in a while, if I go up in weight, I might have to give a little bit of a bounce and my elbow might come forward a little. But when you see people doing this in the gym, they're working their shoulder. And it's another way to hurt your shoulder, guys, too.
Mm.
Learn to control the weight. Drive your arms back in a bicep curl, curl it up. Control the weight on the way down. Good question, Chris. Ina. Got another one? Keep going, guys. This is your time to ask questions. Is this been helpful so far? Yes? Awesome. Any other questions? Struggles? Squats? You good with squats? Who's got barbell squats? Got barbell squats, Nikki? You comfortable with them? You want help? Here.
Sorry, I couldn't figure that out. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Um, biggest problem I have is using my whole foot. I tend to always go with the heel, so that's where I have it. And I don't know, maybe my back a little bit. I arch it the wrong way, or
So squats, Nikki, and I would have you actually, I might have you demo how you squat and fix your form a little. There's a lot of things that can happen in a squat. A lot of things, guys, is not necessarily your form. Sometimes we have to adjust our position in a squat due to the length of our femur or our upper body. So Coach Jen has a shorter femur than me. She will always squat differently than I will. I will always have a tilt in my upper body where she will always be able to stay higher than I am because I have a longer femur, okay? But there's a lot of little ways around it. So I can squat by widening my legs a little bit, creating more space. So a lot of times squats, guys, you have to play with things. Now, I'm not telling you to get into a sumo squat where you're now working your abductors and your glutes more, but just sometimes creating space in your squat or coming in a little bit narrower will help with your form. That's one thing that you can work on. Also, did you say your heels come up, Nikki?
no, I press with my heels instead of my whole foot.
Okay. So you can do one of two things. You can try to continue to press with your whole foot, or you can also, if you need a trigger, you can actually elevate your heel. Now, I don't recommend elevating my heel, but you can elevate your heel to force your, actually, I do recommend elevating your heel. Elevating your heel will help you get deeper in your squat. It also helps if you have sore knees, because it allows your knee to travel over your toe with ease. So like, for example, I will probably never ever be able to, I pretty much know this as a fact, I'll probably never squat again without my heels elevated because of the injury in my right leg. I cannot get that because of I have a limitation in my knee now. And so I have to squat with my heels elevated. So when you squat with your heels elevated, you'll be surprised. You'll be able to get right down. So you can try that and see if it changes the angle. Okay. It might be easier for you to do that by elevating the heel. For you, it'll force you to take the heel out of it for a while and push into the toe.
Okay, cool. That sounds great. Thank you.
And if you're arching your back too much, guys, sometimes that can be, again, a femur thing. So just because I want to see you squat, Nikki, let me see you squat. Yeah. Yeah, sideways is good. Can you move away from the camera a little so I can see your full body? Great. I like that better. You have a long femur. So try widening your feet a little. And just put your hands straight out in front of you for now. Yeah, and go down into that chin up, chest up. Better. Do you have something to elevate your heels with? Look at her right in the gym. Perfect. Yep. Keep your feet a little bit wider. Yep. Put your hands out in front of you. Keep your chest up like there's a string on it and go straight down. Y'all see the difference? You see your body stay up. You're never, Nikki, if you watch this back, you're never going to be fully straight up and down ever because you have a long leg, right? I'm guessing you have long legs, right? You have a longer femur and long legs. So you're always going to want to tilt forward, but did you feel the difference when you elevated your heel?
I did feel the difference.
Yeah,
There's not anything long on my body.
Yeah, you do have a long femur, so that you're never going to get away from it, and that means that this bone right here is long. Okay, so it's not short. A shorter person has an easier time with it, or a shorter, like, femur bone is easier. Yours is a little longer. You're always gonna, you're not gonna change that. But I want you to always think chest up, sit straight down, chest up, but just elevating your heels changed it. And I'm sure you felt it. You were able to go deeper and stay upright. So, and then just play with your feet a little bit as well. But that was a game changer for you. When you are, I saw you pretending you had a rack on your bar. So just remember, when you rack a bar, so like if you stand up and you're gonna get up underneath it, when you get up underneath it, it should not sit on your neck. It should sit right on your lats below your shoulder. And when you lock in, you want to do this almost the same thing that I said with a chest press. So you're going to open up, and you don't want your elbows out here. When you come in, this is not where you want to be when you squat. You want to bring your arms in here when you squat.
Like breaking the body.
Yeah, you want to bring them into your body, and that you're going to feel when you do that, your chest comes up. That's a safer place to be in a squat. So bring those elbows in. It's almost like you squeeze your shoulder blades together when you get up underneath the bar. So you come up under the bar, you set it right on your traps, like right below, like not on your neck, like on those traps, on that cushy part of your neck. And then I will just get my hands close. My hands are never wide. They come in really close. Like I'm starting a motorcycle. I've never started a motorcycle, but starting a motorcycle, and I lock in my arms to my side, and my shoulder blades almost squeeze together when I come down into that squat. That's the safest place to be. Cool? She froze. Helpful? Other questions about a squat? Want to be safe in squats, guys. And there's so many different ways to squat. How many different ways are there to squat? You guys can squat so many different ways. You can do a barbell squat. You can use a Smith machine. I advise everybody to use a damn Smith machine if your gym has one before you get under a barbell. Swear to God, there's nobody in here that needs to be, unless you're powerlifting or some damn thing, you do not need to use a barbell. Even if there's a barbell in your workout and the Smith machine is open, go use the Smith machine. It's safer. It's always the safest option because you don't need a spotter with it. Like when you start to get into heavy weight, even like what's heavy to you, and you don't have a spot of the barbell, that can get pretty, like, you need a spot, but you can get away with a lot with a Smith machine. You can use a Smith machine to bench press. You can use the Smith machine to squat. You can use them. I could do a full workout on a Smith machine. I can do an RDL on a Smith machine. The bar is stable. Don't be like, if the Smith machine is available, use it. If you have a barbell workout, no shame in that game. You can use dumbbells to squat. You can use a machine. You can do a belt squat. You can do a machine squat. All kinds of different squats. I should do a reel on that. That's a good idea.
I know, I was just thinking the same thing. Like you did with the cable full body workout, you could do a Smith machine full body workout. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, this was good, guys. I've been here for almost 2 hours. Helpful? Or almost over an hour, I guess. Almost an hour and a half. Any other questions? Because the floor is yours, guys. Huh, my other camera's videoing me over there.
I have a beginner question for you. So when you're doing your reps and all of a sudden you're like, wow, this is really starting to burn. I don't know if I can do X amount more. Do you push yourself to X amount more, or do you stop and take a rest and then do 5 more?
Push yourself. If you have it in the gas tank to do 5 more, do 5 more. Okay, but that's a really good question, guys. So, you should push it. You always want to push yourself to failure, and everybody's failure is going to look different here. Okay, everybody's idea of failure, everybody's weight is going to look different, but everybody can go to failure here and should go to failure, because if you're not pushing that muscle to failure, you're not breaking it down and it won't develop. Okay, so doing a bicep curl, for example, and this is a good question, Julie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 15. Sweet, I'm done. That was nothing. Okay, it should never look like that. Maybe your first round. Okay, what it should look like is, say I have 15 reps, it should be 13. I'm not exaggerating here. 14. And it could look like 15. Or it could be like 15. Seriously, either one. That's what it needs to look like. If you watch any of my videos, do I make some crazy ass fucking faces in my reels? What's my common face? I have a very stoic face that I make all the time. That's not a joke. That's not made up. That's not real. That is what I look like when I lift. That is what I look like, because every single rep, usually the last few, I am pushing to that limit. I make a face. If you're not, you're not pushing hard enough. So the general rule of thumb that I will say is, you have a rep range. Sometimes we'll give you specifics, but if we give you a rep range, which is 12 to 15, that means we want you to stay in that range. You can go to the high end or the low end of that. That's okay. And we give you that range because as you go up in weight, you might drop. So my coach usually gives me rep ranges. So for example, today I had rep ranges. I would get down into, he had 15 to 12, sometimes he has 15 to 20. And I've got usually 4 or 5 sets of shit, right? So when I get to my 4th or my 5th set of something, usually I am on the lower end of that range because I've been going up in weight. Now that doesn't always mean I go up in weight. So for example, today I was doing, this is kind of answering your question, Julie, but like today I started out with 30 pounds. I was doing barbell curls. Right? Started out with 30 pounds, knocked out 20 of them, threw that down, picked up the 40. I think I knocked out 20 with the 40. I kept it though, because the last few with that 40 and the 20 were like, oh, motherfucker, right? So I kept it because I had a feeling that I wasn't going to hit 20 again with that 40, and I was right. The next set, even with my proper rest, I got to about 15 good ones with a at the end with the 40. I didn't put it down because those last few to get to 15, I was kind of praying to the gods a little bit, and my could tell my form was getting a little rough. So instead of putting the 40 down and grabbing the 50, I kept the 40, and sure as shit, I knocked out 12. Okay, because I was getting that fatigued, but so I didn't have to put the 40 down again. All right. Now, had I warmed up with the 40, had I done my first set with 40, I probably would have had to keep it all the way to the end, and maybe my second set would have been 15. But the thing is that you always want to be challenging yourself. And if I do a weight and it's super freaking easy, I usually won't pick that weight up again. So like if I did the 30, ideally I shouldn't have picked the 30 up today. I should have done it with the 40 because I know I can get 20 with 40, but the way that it was placed in my workout, I kind of thought my biceps might have been slightly fatigued, so I grabbed the 30. But typically, like the next time I do this split that he has me on, because today I picked up the 30, I knocked out 20, then I picked up the 40 and I knocked out 20. I won't pick up the 30 again. Why would I? Because I just did it. So now my next starting weight is always going to be that 40. And that's how I work myself up in weight. But you always want to be challenged by those last 2 reps. And that could be done so many different ways. It can be done by adding in a heavier weight. It can be done by adding more reps, but you always want to challenge that weight. Did that help answer your question, Julie? It's got to be hard.
Yep, that helps. Thank you.
Perfect. Think of straining, of the muscle being under that pressure. And I get this a lot, guys. This is a really good question. Well, what if I can't go up in weight? Because here's the reality of it. It's always going to be easier to go up in weight with your back. Your back predominantly and your legs, because they're the biggest muscles in your body. So your legs, your glutes, it's always going to be easy to go up in weight to get time under tension to exhaust the muscle. You can slap on plates and go up in weight because the muscles are really big and they can handle a lot. But when you're working a small muscle like a shoulder particularly, you can be, or your traps, like your not your traps, your triceps, man, you can get stuck at a weight forever because it's such a small muscle. And that's sometimes where you have to get tricky and you have to like push the reps in order to fatigue the muscle. So sometimes I got to do more reps because I'm just not feeling it and it's a small muscle and I can't pick up a bigger weight because I literally can't. If I pick up the next heaviest weight, I'm going to get sloppy and I'm not going to have good form. So you can very easily get stuck between weights with smaller muscles. Shoulders are a very common one. It's hard to get up in weight. And you can do different things though. So if you're working your shoulder and those 15s or those 10s, commonly people get stuck on 10s or 12s. They're super easy, right? But you pick up the 15s and you start to get sloppy, or maybe you're using the 15s. Like I use 15s, I go to 20s, I get sloppy. It's hard for me to go. So there's different things you can do. You can do pause reps. You can pause and really go slow on your way down. You can increase your reps. You can pick up, in my case, it would be the 20s, and I can do drop sets. So sometimes with my shoulders, I'll do a drop set. I'll pick up the 20s. I'll get as many decent ones out as I can. Sometimes my form isn't perfect with the 20s. And when I start to get sloppy, I throw them down. I grab the 10s. I go down 50% and I knock out more until my arms are on fire with the 10s, right? I just keep going with the 10s and I actually correct my form and I get better form. And then I'll throw those down and I might go for the 5s. And I'll tell you what, when you do something like that, those 5s feel like 100 fucking pounds by the time you get to that, because your arms are on fire and those 5s are like, holy shit. But that's what you're looking for. I've had my eyes water with 5-pound weights before. I've had my eyes water with a 5-pound weight when I'm doing triceps, shoulders, because I will drop set a lot. So if you understand the fatigue of the muscle, you can add a drop set to the end of any workout. So if I get to the end of a set and I'm like, motherfucker, I just don't feel the pump in that muscle, I will drop set just to burn out the muscle, just to get it like to feel. Does anybody here know what it feels like to have a muscle pump? Besides Jen. So a muscle pump, guys, when you have fatigued a muscle, because I quite kid you not, it feels like it is about to split out of your skin. Okay, Barb's had it. Yes. Okay, Valerie's raising her hand. It literally feels like you're about to become the Incredible Hulk and your muscles are going to spill out. That is a muscle pump. It's also, sometimes I'll do it with my bicep. Like if I have fatigued my bicep, I don't even have to flex. I will bend my arm and that sucker's like up to here. Like, holy shit, that is like My shoulders, I'll do it a lot with my shoulders. I'll walk around and I look like, you know, I don't know, my shoulders are stuck out to here and they feel it's almost painful because it's such a pressure. That is a muscle pump. And when you feel that, you have done something very, very right. It's not sore, it's just like it feels like it's about to pop out of your skin. You have tore down that muscle, you have blood pumping to it, and it is busted down and is ready to be healed with some fuel, food, and get bigger. So that is it. And so when I don't feel that, and I don't chase, I don't necessarily chase it, but if I don't feel some kind of tightness in my, specifically my upper body, I will drop set a lot. And it doesn't matter if it's in my workout or not, I will just drop set to get that feeling, to get that muscle worked. And none of us coaches care if you do that. We would rather you break down that muscle. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And it, like I
No,
said,
but
it would usually be my last set that I would do that.
the quads, and it's different. It's like I can't get out of the gym. And they put 4 steps to get up and out of the gym. And I don't know why. But I just can't get up. I mean, I got to pull up.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't work. But then it's not sore until like 2 days later.
Correct.
And then I can't get off the toilet.
Correct.
So it's just, you know.
So that's a good example, Barb, of legs. It's easier to work the legs because it's a bigger muscle. So it's easier to stack the weight on. So yes, you can challenge your quads, your glutes, your legs, like beyond belief. Like I rarely, guys, when I work my legs, I don't go up in weight under 45 pounds. So if I'm on a leg press, I will have 90 on. If I'm going to go up in weight, I slap 2 more 45s on. I can't tell you the last time I slapped a 25 on. Like it's 45, 45. If I'm going to go up again, I slap another 2 45s on. Like, because my legs can handle that. They can go up that much in weight. They don't need to be babied. Like, you know, and I'm not telling y'all to go do that. Like, but that's like normally your legs can handle a lot. And when you fatigue your legs, yes, they'll get pretty freaking wiggly. And that's when you know that you have really tore down a muscle. Soreness doesn't necessarily equal that you've had a good workout. But if you have a new workout and you work a muscle differently for the first time, or you have a different workout that maybe your coach has given you, it is very common to be sore 2 days later. That is very, very common. That's not an unusual thing. Sometimes you'll be sore the day of. Like I quite honestly will fall down the stairs on the way out of the gym. I used to have a gym that had like 2 flights of stairs it was crazy. That was in Las Vegas. I was like, the fuck were we thinking here? And I literally would use the rails on leg day to get down the steps. Like my legs were that sore. I would have to hold on to the rail to get down the steps. But a lot of times my legs would or would not be sore 2 days later. But yes, it is quite common. Or if you're working out with somebody that just pushes you a little bit harder, you might get sore. Like, you know, Jen came and trained with me the other week and she had a few challenges but that's because I was pushing her, and it's very, very normal in our mind. Our brain will always quit 1,000 times, guys, before our body will. So we will get to an uncomfortable place, myself included, and we won't do any more reps. But if somebody's standing there with you, that's where workout partners can be helpful and is saying to you, one more, you'll get another one. You might be cussing under your breath, you fucking bitch. Like, I don't want to do one more. Do one more. Do one more. Do one more. And that's where you'll push yourself. That's what a workout partner will sometimes do, is be able, and then they're there also to spot you if your form starts to get wonky and help you get through those next couple of reps with good form, but still pushing you past that point of failure. It's tough to do on your own.
My husband always throws weight on without me knowing. And I'm like, what the fuck? He's sneaky like that. I'm like, all right, this is what we're doing.
Yep. That's another good one too. But yeah, when you train with somebody, it's always helpful. because we'll naturally want to veer away from something that potentially is hard. Good questions, guys. I love them. This is my jam. Should we do more of these? Yeah? I might make every Tuesday. Huh, that's my echo. Telling me to go to bed. So if you guys like this, let me know. Drop some fire in the comments anywhere you saw this posted. And I might make this a regular thing for the coaching calls on Tuesdays when I do it in the evening. And maybe I'll even make sure I'm in a gym next time so I can give you guys some ideas. But if this was helpful, let me know. All right. Have a good evening, guys. Thanks for showing up. Bye.
Bye.